I am Peter Vincent, the great vampire hunter. I'm a great actor, and actors have to maintain the illusion of being the character they play in the movies. No matter what I do, I can't disappoint my fans, ever.
And now, for a recap of today's news. Yesterday, a man was found murdered behind the railroad yards, and today a badly mutilated corpse was found under the North Creek Bridge by the old mill. As yet, the police have no leads. What's that, Fred? We're off the air? Oh, I can't believe this. 2 murders in 2 days in Rancho Corrales with nothing ever happens, and both of them were decapitated? What is going on? Like, what? What?
A good question, isn't it? I'm as anxious as you to find out. And now for Act 2 of Fright Night.
My name is Jack Levy. I am the executive producer of Table Read, one of 3 with my partners Mark Nell and Sean Sharma.
And typically Table Read does podcasts of stuff that has not been produced yet, correct?
That is correct. They are, what we've traditionally done is source scripts from, people we've worked with in Hollywood, things that have been referred to us, working writers, showrunners, producers, award winners. And a lot of times there are scripts that have circulated Hollywood, and you think, why hasn't this been made? Sometimes a studio will send you a script, hey, can you bid on this? And you're reading, I think this is fantastic, and then it never ends up getting made. And you think, what happened to these gems? And so we shot a script that was an award-winning script, and fully produced it. And we sent it around to some showrunner friends of ours, writer friends of ours, award-winning. And every writer we sent it to said, oh my God, I have a script for you to do. So we've done them with, Ty Burrell and Fred Armisen, with Scooter Braun, with Sonny Postiglione, who did showrunner of Vampire Diaries, and really the community has just been so supportive. It's mushrooming. It's great.
That's awesome. And today you're doing something a little different. You're doing a script that has been produced into a film, Fright Night.
Yeah, we're doing the horror classic Fright Night, which, look, I graduated high school in '85. I remember seeing Fright Night in the theater. I came out to LA as a film fan. And season 1, we did a horror script called Landlord, and a friend of mine was friends with Tom Holland. And he said, oh, why don't you talk to Tom? I thought, how much fun, we'll get some stunt casting, we'll get Tom into our show. And he said he'd like to guest direct, so he guest directed Landlord. And as soon as we did one title with him, Tom was like, hey, I'd love to do the original Fright Night cast. That'd be fan. I'll get the band back together. And then, before you knew it, Mark Hamill was on board, and Rosario Dawson was on board, and just, it's been so... it's been such a family event. Typically, you have to go through 15 layers of agents and and favored nations nonsense. And really, this has been like a jam session.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And so it was really kind of Tom's pitch to get this one done.
People love Tom. He picked up the phone and everyone was like, yes, we're there. They were so thrilled. And I think this is the first time the entire cast has been together in 40 years. They do conventions and horror signings, and everyone keeps in touch, but this is the first time the band's been back together.
The whistle song was going to be Whistle While You Work.
Remember that?
Remember that?
No way.
And Disney wanted $50,000.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we use Strangers in the Night.
That's a very good reason.
Yeah. Tell me how much you love me, Amy. Kill them both.
My name's Tom Holland. I'm the writer-director of Fright Night for real.
And what's it been like bringing it back to life today for you?
It's been absolutely wonderful. I'm here at the original cast reading of Fright Night, which we're doing as a podcast with Manifest Media. And we've got Mark Hamill guest starring and Rosario Dawson, and everybody's brilliant. I'm laughing as much as I did in 1985 when it was released.
Fantastic. And how did this project come about today, this reunion project?
Well, I've been wanting to do the cast reading, an original cast reading. We did one on Zoom 4 years ago, and the sound quality wasn't good enough for me to be able to use, but it was so wonderful and so funny and warm and affectionate that I wanted to get the original cast again and get Mark Hamill and Rosario back. And it's happening, and I'm just thrilled. And we played it last night at the New Beverly Theater in LA, and it was a packed theater, and people had a wonderful time. And now I'm listening to it again here, and I'm having a wonderful time. It's just amazing.
Are you discovering anything new looking back at it, so many years later?
Well, I think it's a love letter to horror fans everywhere. And I think now that the horror community is growing so large in the last 40 years that it makes it even more important, because it's a film where you can introduce your grandchildren or your children or your little kids to horror. It's a family horror film now with a lot of affection, a lot of warmth, and a lot of humor, and a great story.
Peter, we don't have very much time. Dandridge chased me and Amy all over town. He trapped us in this place called Club... What are you doing?
I'm leaving.
You can't.
Just watch me.
But Dandridge has Amy. He says he's going to kill her unless we come to his house.
Peter stops and stares at Charlie, stunned.
Oh my God. The police. I'll call the police.
Oh, Peter, no, they won't believe you. I've tried. Peter, it's just us. We're going to have to save Amy.
And of
My
course
name is
originated-
Amanda Burse, and I'm reading once again the role of Amy Peterson in Fright Night.
And how is it revisiting Amy Peterson?
I love Amy, and I love the film. It's such good storytelling, and it really was a remarkable character. And I think I was so new and young in my career at the time. It was looking back that I realized what a wonderful journey this character got to go on. I mean, the movie itself is a wild ride, but Amy's transitions, if you will, very unique for a young woman to have that kind of part.
And as you revisited the script to prepare for today, was there anything like a certain scene that you read that really just reminded you of something special that happened on set?
I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, but I can remember a lot of the experience of the set. And we've gathered together now. I didn't see these guys for like 20 years, right? And then with the horror convention world, we all started coming together. That's how we found each other again. And now that's been 20 years. So we have a familiarity with the movie. So coming into the reading, it wasn't like so ice cold, you know what I mean? And we all saw it again last night. And that's why I had the question to the director, to the group, are we doing this like the movie, or are we doing this, kind of where we are in our lives now? Well, I was 26 playing 16 in 1984, and now I'm 66 playing 16. So it's like, okay, doing the best I can, get that register up.
That's the magic of voiceover, right?
Yeah, well, it's fun.
That's excellent. Now, obviously, we have some new cast members joining you today.
Rosario.
And Mark.
Yes.
How's that been for you?
A dream. I mean, I met them 4 years ago when we did this during the campaign. That's how this came together the first time. And but it was all Zoom. It was COVID, and it was all Zoom. But that's when I found out that Rosario was a big fan of the movie, and Mark as well. And Roddy's role is not an easy one to fill. It's very idiosyncratic, and also because it's Roddy, who is iconic. But here's another icon stepping into those shoes, and he's really, I think, having fun. And Rosario's she's a dream. She's not getting enough to do, but I showed up, so she didn't get the part of Amy. That's all I'm saying.
Any fun stories with Chris on set you had a lot of fun scenes with him.
Well, Chris was pretty serious. He was serious. He was a little bit older, and we were somewhat goofy kids in our 20s. He was a gentleman. What I remember most and was so struck by was he treated me as everybody else, and Roddy the same, that we were like peers when it was really brand new in our careers. And he was such a gentleman, and I had to get into some situations sort of clothed and not and so forth. And he was just so lovely and caring. Still is.
And can you believe that we're still talking about this movie 40 years later?
I can't, but it's cool. And we're all here because of Tom.
I mean, every one of you made me laugh at something in the reading. And that's why you're here 40 years later, and you're still making me laugh. You're moving me.
Let's do some melting flesh sounds.
I'll do the steak impact first.
But yeah, whichever.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
That was great. Oh, yeah.
Now that you've gotten a little taste of doing stuff that has been produced and recording it again, like, do you feel like that's something you might continue as well, or do you think you're going to focus primarily still on the unproduced?
Listen, we love to tell great stories, and we've already been approached with some additional properties that are a lot of fun. But I think, outside of exploiting a property, there are some cult pieces in comedy and horror and sci-fi that fans really connect to. And the greatest thing is when you have a role like Christopher Sarandon's role, no matter the level of celebrity, people feel invested. I don't want anyone else playing that character. And yes, we've been approached with additional properties. I think it'd be fun to do. Really a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. And where can folks find the podcast and what's the official website and all that?
Listen, you can go to tablereadpodcast.com or literally anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeart. We are everywhere. We've had almost 5 million downloads in about 13 months, which is great.
Wow.
And
Since 1995.
yes.
Hi,
Mark Nell,
Hey.
executive producer.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you
well.
again.
You having fun?
Yes.
This is pretty amazing, isn't
Oh,
it?
is it cast
incredible.
photo? Is
Yeah,
it-
we're gonna do cast photos.
All
So
right.
as soon as you're
All
ready.
right.
Hey, thanks for letting me put my face.
He's going to get you.